Hi everyone, Lisa here from Down to Earth Gardening and Design. Welcome to today's video, which is on how to prune lavender. So I want to talk a little bit about lavender because I love it so much. It's such a lovely little perennial. And then I'm going to talk about how to prune lavender, the whens, and the how-tos. And I'm going to walk you through it when I prune this lavender here. So I'm with my Hid Coat lavender, and this lavender plant has been here about 2 years. I love the Hid Coat lavender for my zone, which is planting zone 6B. I'm here in New England and Connecticut. It is a hardy lavender. So you just have to know a few things about it, and then to keep it at its best, how to prune it. So that's why today's video is pretty important for all of you out there that love your lavender. So lavender is a great little easy perennial. It is so fragrant. I can smell the fragrance just sitting here. It's so lovely. And it flowers late spring to early summer. And it has this beautiful silvery gray foliage. And I call it a shrubby perennial. You can see that it has some woody stems here. Typically, it will get to be about 2 to 3 feet tall and wide, but mine, because it's the Hid Coat, is about 18 inches to 2 feet tall, so a little bit shorter. And it's so great because the pollinators love it. I see lots of bee action out here. It is a full sun perennial and it is drought tolerant. It is deer resistant. It's great for crafts and it's great for culinary use. And it's just gorgeous in the garden. It's pretty versatile. I like to plant it in my cottage gardens. I like to plant it along walkways. When you brush up against it, it will give off that beautiful fragrance, or even surround your patio or seating areas with it. So here I have it in the mix. It gets a lot of morning sun, and I have it with this beautiful rock here with a mix of other things that also are full sun lovers. But we're going to start pruning it. So you do want to prune it twice a year in my zone or where you get cold winters, and that's going to be in very early spring before the growth starts, and then midsummer. And that's where we are right now. So anywhere from midsummer to late summer, after your lavender is done flowering, you want to get out there and prune it pretty hard and shape it. The goal is to have it be a tight mound. So I'm going to show you how to do that in a minute. But I just want to say that it's really important to do this, to prune your lavender, because if you don't, do you see how it's starting to flop here? It is east facing, so it's leaning toward the sun. But this will get even worse and your lavender will splay. So you do want to make sure that you shape it at the appropriate time. So what you're also doing, you're not only making it look pretty in the garden, but you're going to get a longer lifespan out of your lavender, because once that happens, it is doable. You can get it back in shape if you get out there and you know some tricks to it, and we'll have a future video on that because we love our lavender, but it's a little tough to do. So for today, for this job, you will need some shears. This will make the job go a lot quicker. And then you also want to have some hand pruners as well. So I've got this really pretty Rudbeckia right next to it. I do like the combination here, but this might be a casualty when we're shearing this. Okay, so we're just going to cut it down. And for right now, my goal is to just cut it down, the flower stems, and no more than about 1 inch into the leaves here. So you may have seen when I'm doing some shearing in my other videos, I like to spin it around because it really helps me get that mounded form. So I just spin the shears around, and it helps me get a little bit of a curve here. Now I have to say, don't be afraid to get a little drastic with this. you're actually doing it a favor. The other benefit of this is that I will often see a light rebloom in my zone on this lavender. So yet another benefit to doing this. Okay, so we're cutting all the stems down and we're cutting into the leaves here and some woody stems. Okay, so after I do my first round, I like to just do a quick cleanup, and that way I can really see what's going on here. Here's a little aside, but even though these blooms have gone by, these are still great for some crafts. Look at how pretty they are. They're not as vibrant or as bright, but still gorgeous, and still they smell so great. Okay, I'm gonna go over it again because I see that I missed some spots here. Okay, do you see how I have this hole right here? So I'm just gonna try to rehab this a little bit before it gets out of control. So what that means is I'm going to have to be cutting the top down a little bit more than I normally would. And that's just to get it so it fills in and it's a little shrubbier here. So I'm going to be looking at this for a little while, but it will fill in. And remember, we're doing it a favor. This is such a handy little rake that I have here too, and I will put some links in the description in case you're interested in any of the tools that I like to use. Okay, so now I will get out my hand pruners, and this is just fine tuning here. So some of the stems that were a little bit harder to reach, so I like to brush my hand over it, and then anything that pops up and is out of place will really stand out. Also gives you a chance to see if there's anything dead that you could remove. It'll kind of show up here. Also gives you a chance to really get in there and do some good weeding around it, because they do get quite full. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that. Okay, so that's it. So just to recap, so remember, twice a year. So early spring before your lavender gets going, and then mid to late summer after it's done flowering is the time to prune your lavender. And this is my English lavender hid coat that I absolutely loved. So the goal is the nice tight mound, and we're trying to not only get it to look pretty, but to keep it in great shape so we protect our investment and we can keep this cute little plant here for as long as possible. So that's it for today, folks. I'm probably gonna get a few more flowers on this, and I love sharing these videos, these how-to and gardening videos with you. And if you like this one, please go ahead and give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel, because I'm crazy about gardening and I have a lot more videos coming your way.